Welcome back, everybody, to another trade recap. It is Monday, August 17th. All right, I'm going to get right into it. I'll show you guys my P&L for this morning. All right, we started off taking 4 long contracts, okay, 4 macros at the open. We made $963 this morning. Let that focus, okay. That leaves me just under 8,500 on the month, okay? We're gonna dive straight into it. I was able to pick up about 16 points or so this morning, all right? I'm gonna explain exactly why I executed, where I took my execution, and where I took my profits, all right? So when I opened up the charts this morning, I was a little late. I opened up the charts around 8:45. A little bit later than usual at 8:30, right? I just wanted to see what price action wanted to do at the open, right? It is a no news Monday, so I wasn't expecting anything crazy. No news Mondays go one of two ways, right? They either barcode on us all day, or they rip and they run in one direction. They either rip and they run in one certain direction in up or down moves, all right? Let's get this camera to stay focused. This motherfucker. Okay. Alright. So getting into the open, right? Started on the 5-minute chart this morning, just because I did notice a London low sweep during pre-market, all right? So what did I do? I deleted over my London low markup, and then I also noticed this 15-minute bearish inverse fair value gap getting respected. Okay, so those are 2 indications that we are looking for longs this morning. All right, we did get a high resistance liquidity sweep of London low, as well as a respected 15-minute inverse fair value gap that was tapped back into and rejected out of. All right, so I dropped down into the 5-minute chart, just looking for a little bit of opportunity, see what price wants to do at the open. All right, so moving along into 9:30, what do we see? We see barcoding, and this is exactly what I was afraid of, right? So no news Monday, like I said, goes one or two ways. It either runs and rips 50 to 100 points, or it just barcodes on us all day. So that's what we're seeing at the market open from 9 o'clock onward to about 9:35. It's just a bunch of barcodes, no clean setup. So if there's no clean setup, no delivery, guess what? There's no entry, right? So we finally start to see a little bit of movement. All right, I do drop into the 1-minute chart. All right, reasons why I did not enter here, right? There is no confirmation, guys, right? This, just because the market's moving, does not mean you have to move, right? Look here, we get a market open high at 9:38 that gets swept by a nice industrial candle right here. What do I mean by industrial candle? This is not formed by retail traders. This is formed by market makers. This is formed by hedge funders and big companies that are dumping loads of money into the market at once just to move price in the direction that they want to go, right? So what else do I see here? I see a bearish order block right here. So I think this price action is protected, right? I was hoping to get another sweep low just to build up as much liquidity as possible and then push a little bit higher, but price ended up running on me, right? So again, I'm still not in the trade. I'm still not at in an entry point, right? I still don't see anything that's worth my liking, right? Price is just running. Where are you entering on something like this? This is about a 20-point swing on the 1-minute chart in 6 minutes. Where are you entering on that, right? What I wanted to do is I wanted to see this order block get turned into a breaker block and then retested to show another confirmation that we wanted to push higher. There's no confirmation here. It's just a bunch of fair value gaps stacked after one another, and there's really no solid entry point there, right? So again, like I say, just because the market moves does not mean we have to move, guys. Like, we wait for our setups and we execute on delivery, right? So all I'm doing is I'm being very patient here, right? I just wanted to see what kind of momentum we were gonna see, and now we saw a little bit of a pullback, right? It's not as much as I would have liked after a 20-point move, right? But we did respect this 1 minute fair value gap here. So all I wanted to do is wait to see if price wanted to come back lower, and we did not. We swept London high within the first 27 minutes of market open, right? What do I notice here though? I noticed Asia high and an unmitigated 15-minute gap are still alive for us to target, right? After I see this big rejection here, I'm just looking for a little slight pullback in order to find my entry point and execute on delivery, right? So now, here we are. We're getting some type of retracement, we're getting some type of pullback, and I'm staying very patient, all right? Very patient. I'm waiting for my entry point. I'm not moving, I'm sitting on my hands. As soon as we do get this little bit of retracement, right, I did use my volume indicator to help me find the clearest entry for me, all right? So when you're using this volume tool here, you're going to click on forecasting where you see your long or short positions. You're gonna go down to volume based. It's gonna be called your fixed range volume profile. You're gonna click that. You're just going to drag that from the bottom to the top of your latest swing to show where volume was heaviest or where volume was strongest, right? It's gonna indicate you a black line right in that swing where the most orders were placed during that swing, right? So all I did was I waited for price to come back. It didn't fully tap that line, but if you notice, the zone right above it is pretty much just as strong, just a little bit weaker. It's not as strong, but it still is very strong with volume. That's when I executed on my delivery, okay? And I took a long position. I opened 4 macro contracts on my live account, which is why I was able to capitalize so much on such a small move, right? So as soon as we enter, we are getting great delivery. Once London high is retaken, I'm able to go break even, and I actually trimmed one of my contracts, right? So now I'm just waiting for the rest to run and play out. I took all my risk out of the equation 3 minutes into my trade after waiting a solid 45 minutes to take a trade this morning, right? Barely get any type of retracement. I already take Asia high 5 minutes into my trade, and I'm able to close out one more of my position, as well as leave 2 runners for this unmitigated 15-minute fair value gap that is still left behind here. And not too much longer into the trade, we do end up sweeping right through, balancing out that price action, and then slowing down, moving forward, right? So this 15-minute fair value gap, all you want to do, if you see an unmitigated 15-minute fair value gap that has not been targeted yet, all you want to do is, if it's a bearish fair value gap and it was formed when price was coming down, all you want to do is you want to target the bottom of that zone, right? Because it's never guaranteed that price wants to come through it and inverse it, but it is a solid liquidity draw, right? It is a solid draw on liquidity when looking to take profits. So that's why we only target the bottom of the zone, because price could have easily tapped in and reversed from here, right? It's never a guarantee that price will run through a fair value gap. Not every fair value gap gets inversed. Some of them, especially on the higher time frames, do get respected and actually indicate a reversal in price, right? Same with vice versa. If you're looking for shorts and you see one of these, fair value gaps, and you're looking to target one of these fair value gaps back down on the downside, what you would do is you would target the highs, the tops of those fair value gaps, again, because they're never guaranteed to get inversed. This is the 1 minute chart, so these fair value gaps don't hold as much weight as the 15-minute gaps or the hour gaps, but you still want to trade with caution. You still want to make smart moves. You don't want to just risk your money for no reason just because you want to make some money, right? Everybody wants to make some money, but it's only the smart ones that last in this field, right? And that's exactly what I'm here to teach you guys, all right? So that's another trade recap. Took a little bit longer to set up than I would have liked, but it still played out in our liking. About just under 16 points, and we were able to capitalize on a no news Monday and we're happy as can be, right? I was able to go to the gym this morning. I was able to get some lunch with my friends afterwards, and now I'm here explaining everything to you guys, trying to make it seem a little bit easier for you guys on your mental, on your psychology, and so on and so forth, so you guys don't quit and give up on yourselves as soon as you start to see how hard this truly is, how hard it is mentally and physically, on your body, on your mind. But throughout time, as long as you don't give up on yourself, I promise you, you will see the other side of that tunnel. All right, till next time, I love you guys all. Peace.